Hi, this is Hannah Taylor, and this is my presentation for Session Cookie and ID. So first, I want to help you guys understand and remind you what a session is and what a cookie is, and then what a session cookie is, because they're three different things. Well, kind of, in a way. So a session is a set of data stored on the server as name-value pairs, and they're given unique IDs to keep track of the session. And that ID will be used to interact between the browser and the server. And they're mainly used for login process and also for shopping carts. And a session expires when a browser window is closed or a session times out. Or if session destroy is used in the code, which will sometimes be used when a user logs out. It'll destroy the session. And a cookie is a very small file that's created by the server and stored in the browser. So remember that a session is stored in the server and a cookie is stored in the browser. And to write the code for a cookie, start by using create cookie. And just a huge reminder that cookies can be manipulated by users. So the golden rule is do not store sensitive information in cookie values, because it's pretty self-explanatory. They can get it, change the cookie into some value, and it's just a security threat to websites. Cookies are mainly used for tracking IDs, like for Google Analytics, or session IDs and user preferences. And then a persistent cookie expires at a set date using an expiry. Now a session cookie is not actually a session. It's created automatically by the server when a new session is created. It's then stored in the browser as a cookie, and I'll show that here in a second. And its default name is set to PHP SESS ID. And then it has a unique ID, which is the value that's created by the server. So let me go and show you on Amazon just cookies used here. My name, Hannah. Hey, Hannah. Hi, Hannah. Shows all that. That's cookies that have been stored. If we look at, you can access this by going to your web developer tool. And if you look at these, this one is a cookie for US dollars for the currency. This one is a cookie created for the language, and this will be stored for each time that I enter Amazon. And this is my session ID that was created the moment that I logged in, and it won't expire until that later date. And the path is used for the entire website. So this session doesn't expire for a very long time. So to show an example of this, I've created a PHP file, and I've opened it up by using session start, and I'm going to I start the session, and I've used a name of user ID, and my value is 15. And so when I go to my browser and to that page, you'll see that it's created this name, PHP SESS ID, and its value has created a alphanumeric value. And this here is the session cookie. This directs to the session cookie. So to access this, to see, it's confusing because you're like, where did the user ID 15 get stored? Well, it creates a file, and I actually, just to find this file, I created a PHP info file, and then you go and view that PHP info file in your browser, and you want to search for session.save, and then you look at the session.save path, and this will show you the path to that session file. So it's stored in my XAMPP files temp. So when I go back to NetBeans, I'm going to open my Finder, and it's created this here. And if you look at this, and if I go back to my browser real quick and show you, this is the same file name as the value. So that's helpful to keep things straight. And so when I go to NetBeans and I pull up my Finder, I can drag this up into here, and it'll open that session file, and there is user ID, the name, and the value of 15. I stands for integer. And then I'm going to go back here, and just to show you another example, we'll save this, and if we go to our browser and view, just refreshed, nothing changed here, it's all the same. Same name, same value. But it got stored in that same file that we just accessed. So if we go back to NetBeans and look at that file, you'll see that it got stored here, new session, with the value, my favorite color is red. And the S stands for a string and 24 stands for the characters. So I hope that kind of makes sense. And I also hope that if you have any questions, you'll ask on the discussion board, and I'll be happy to answer, and I'll do my best. And also check out these sources.